Is it that time again? Is it? We're on?
Yes.
Are we?
Yes.
Is it? Oh, well, hello everyone. And welcome to today's episode of Lil Lum's Health Alarm Tips.
Lil Runny.
Lil Runny? No,
Right now,
Lil
Lil
Lum's.
Runny.
I can't change it now. Lil Runny. That's for the cooking show too, I think, by the way.
Fine.
So today, I was thinking to myself, have you ever asked yourself the question, is my art good? I bet you have. So I wanted to talk about that. What does it mean for your art to be good? What does it mean that you wonder that your art is good? So I don't know. That's the plan. Is anybody with us?
Helena and Pugs for Life.
All right, good. Thank you for being here, you guys. Here's the bad news first. The bad news is that if, in fact, you value what you create, you will probably never stop wondering if your art is good. I think that's a little bit of human nature. So there's that. But there's ways that we can overcome this, right? In fact, I think the idea that we continually ask, is our art good, is something that we have to weigh, right? Because you can either fall on the spectrum of never believing your art's good, or you can always think that your art's good, or you can be somewhere in the middle. Now, if you think your art's good all the time and you don't ever ask yourself the question, is this really good? Then you may not be as good as you think. But if you're always constantly wondering, is this good enough? Is this good enough? You're probably going to be debilitated by that question, and you're never going to make anything that's good enough. All right, so you got to find a happy medium. All right, so let's talk about a couple things. I'm going to show you some work, but I wanted to bring up a couple of points first. Number one, National Core Art Standards. I put a link to this in our, what is it called? The bulletin board on our classes for you students, okay? And many of you actually responded, why would you do that? Which cracked me up, because I want you to know that we actually utilize nationally recognized standards for our evaluation of what's good. It's not just my opinion, friends. I mean, a lot of it is, let's be honest, okay? But it's more than that. It's not just what I, as your art teacher, or as some guy, thinks of what you create, right? That's not the whole story. So there's this aspect called creating, all right? That's the process that we use to put the art together. Then you have performance or presentation. And that is what we do when we present the artwork in an art show, or actually put the artwork forward for someone to critique. Then there's responding, okay? Now look at me. In terms of responding, this is important because I really believe that the artwork isn't complete, not only without it being presented, but with someone interacting and responding to it. So I think that's key. And then lastly, connecting, okay? And in the case of these standards, it's a lot about connecting to art historical concepts, but also connecting to people and connecting to others, communicating something. Were you able to create something that communicated a message to someone else that they found meaningful, okay? Now, as far as how that relates to, is my art good? Here's what I think you have to understand. Number one, when you're creating artwork, who are you creating for? You got to ask yourself that question. Are you creating to make the teacher happy? Are you creating to make your parents happy? Are you creating something to make an audience on Instagram happy? To make the culture happy? You name it. There's so many groups we could be thinking about. Who are we trying to make happy? Okay? Ask yourself the question. That's going to help to resolve this question about, is my art good? Because standards for good, in kind of that broad sense, are going to be different for different audiences. And then in terms of presenting things, well, why don't I present some work to you? And then we can talk about, is my art good in relationship to presenting? Some of you don't feel confident enough to present or even put your work out there. So I'm going to show you some things I've done that I like, but maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure they're good enough or good. But we'll look, okay? I've done some portraits, which I think largely of as studies, not necessarily finished paintings. All right? So my gut feeling when I look at this painting is that it's good. It's probably not good enough for something, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish with it. But this is really about me practicing and studying and observing and learning to see. So in that sense, yeah, it's good. It's good. All right. Let's look at another one. This one. This is even rougher, I think, than the previous one. Is it good? Yeah, I actually kind of like this. I don't know what it is. I kind of like the texture of it. I like the rough quality of it. I think it communicates something. I think it achieves some objectives that I have personally about my art. So yeah, I think it's good.
It's like Carl Kapinski.
Yeah, I love Carl Kapinski. All right, here's another one. This is actually very different, I think, from the other two in that it's a landscape, but also in the technique that I was using. Again, what was my objective here? Well, purely to demonstrate a landscape, something that I appreciate about a kind of a simple beauty, and to work out some natural looking colors. Is it good? I think it's good. I like it. I might not, it's not hung up, okay?
None of these are
hung up. All right, here's a study of a billiard room, kind of a game room, like a dorm style game room. Is it good? It's not that good. It's okay. It's got some color vibes. It's got some stuff going on. There's a lot that could be worked out here that I think if I had put more time in it, it might meet the good category. But I think when I was making this, I probably didn't put in the effort I needed to on that. All right. Here's a couple other larger ones. This is my son James.
Masa's here.
Masa's here?
First time.
Wow, unreal. Thanks for being here, buddy.
After the Mr. Waz.
It's an honor to have one of the Mr. Waz here with us. This is my son James when he was a little younger. Is this painting good? You know what makes this painting good to me is its value to me of who it is. That's what makes it good. There's plenty of things technique-wise that I wouldn't mind having poured into more. But I really love this painting because of who it is. Okay? Lil James. In fact, it was...
says how much?
How much what? How much for it?
I guess that's what he's asking.
No, that one's not for sale. This is a model that I don't know. I did this from a reference provided to me, and I don't know who this is. It's a lovely painting, I think, and I recall enjoying painting it. I think it turned out. I think it's good. I think it works. This guy, I don't know. There's a lot that could be improved about this painting. Is it good? It's good enough. It's good enough for a study. It's not necessarily good enough for my wall. But I like it. I like it. All right. Again, another model. I don't know this man. Is this good? I really like the personality from the reference that I painted from. So in the sense that I found this to be a relatable character. I appreciated the qualities that I could sort of decipher about him. I think that draws me to this painting. I like it for personal reasons. Would other people like it? I don't know.
Apparently, Masa just loves them all. He wants
them all. $29.95. Okay, they're all yours. This is Dakota, and this is Logan. This is painted from a reference I took on a vacation we did out west. And again, I think that's where the intrinsic value comes in. I love it. I don't just like it. It isn't just good. It's very good because of who it is, more so than anything else. Yeah, it's good. Very good. And then this one. This is the last one. And this one is a self-portrait. And I wanted to show you a self-portrait because for me, this self-portrait has a lot to do with how I perceive myself, okay? And I think this is reflective of an attitude I want to have about myself. This is a portrait of me being an artist. And that's what I feel like it reflects. Now, it's not on my wall, and I think it'd be kind of weird to put it up on my wall. So,
guessed on who?
Yeah, exactly, right? So whenever I, maybe, this would be something that maybe I'll give to my parents to put up at their place.
That was my fault. I just turned the camera to me. Also, Masa says, done. I'll be there in 5 to pick it up.
Okay, thank you. All right, so those are some paintings that vary in range of how good I feel about them for various reasons. And some of the criteria that we could use to judge them would maybe deem them, one, not as good as the other. I think the point is we have to understand that good for one person is not necessarily good for another. So you have to understand who you're creating for, and you have to present it and put it out there to get some feedback from various kinds of people. All right, in terms of responding, I don't know. Here's your chance to respond to me, right? I just showed you a bunch of stuff. Is it good? Now, I don't need you to do that for me, but I would like to be able to do that for you. I would like for you to share with me some of the work that you've been creating. I'd like you to tag me on that on the Instagram story so I can post it and I can respond and see the amazing things that you do. I want to tell you just how good I think the work that you create is. And then last, connecting. Now, I venture to say a lot of what I showed you today doesn't necessarily connect with you on a personal level, right? And that really wasn't the intention of the art. There's other art I've made that you've seen I think may connect with you on some level. But I think that is one important kind of thing for you to start to take into consideration. Who are you wanting to connect with and why? How are you going to do it? I really appreciate in the book of Genesis, in the Bible, when God's creating the world, and he says, after he creates these things, he says, and it was good, right? And then he creates people, and he's like, it was very good, because the people are special and meaningful to him, because they're made in his image and likeness. And you are made in the image and likeness of your Creator to do and create things, to know, to learn, to understand, and to do really incredible, cool stuff, or even just to do really mundane, boring, but important stuff. So what criteria are you judging yourself by? Is your art good? Of course it's good. If you're asking yourself the question, that's probably the best place to start. And then put it out there for people to see. Don't be afraid. Don't let fear hold you back. Even if someone doesn't like it, there's somebody else who is going to like it, right? So make sure that you're not chasing likes and loves and all of this on social media without understanding the reason why you would want those likes and loves from that particular audience, okay? And if you find that your artwork isn't popular in a certain arena, well, give it away to the people who want it, who desire it. So there's plenty of people, plenty of audiences for you. So create toward your audience, all right? Present it so that they can see it. And then have a chance for them to respond. Give them an opportunity to respond so you can start to get feedback as to, yes, this is good. This is good. And then lastly, make sure you're trying to connect with other people about a message that you're passionate about. Something you have to say. Maybe that's something that you believe personally, or maybe it's something that's going on in the world today that you want to address. There's plenty of room for art. There's plenty of room for art that's good, and there's plenty of room for art that's very good. All right? The only thing stopping you, I think, is you. So find your medium. Find your happy medium in the middle. Don't overemphasize whether your art is good enough, but recognize that it is good. In fact, the art that you're making, the desire for you to make that art is good. And don't put too much stock in yourself, right? Don't be too proud of what you create. So there's still room for growth and learning. All right, well, I'm Lil Lum, and that's been Helpful Art Tips with Lil Lum. I hope that if this has been valuable for you, that you'll like it. You'll check it out on YouTube. You'll subscribe. You'll share it with somebody who needs to hear this message about, is my art good? And tell them about it. Guys, hope you're having a great day. We'll see you mañana for another episode. Peace.